Greetings, Seekers, and welcome to the Library of Divine Echoes. I'm your host, Christopher Little, and today we'll be reviewing a blueprint designed as a guide for personal spiritual evolution. Have you ever felt caught between the rigid ancient laws of traditional occultism and the free-flowing experimental nature of modern magical practices? Today we are resolving that tension. In this episode, we are exploring a phased blueprint designed specifically for the conscious architect of a personal spiritual path. Our focus today is on establishing a unified philosophical foundation that reconciles the seemingly disparate worldviews of Hermeticism and Chaos Magic. On one hand, we have Hermeticism, a tradition rooted in the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, which provides a seemingly fixed, hierarchical map of the cosmos governed by universal laws. On the other hand, we have Chaos Magic, a postmodern approach that rejects rigid dogma and operates on the central pillar that belief is a tool. While it might seem like you have to choose one over the other, a deeper look reveals a powerful symbiotic relationship. Today we will discuss how Hermeticism provides the laws and universal operating code of the cosmos, while Chaos Magic provides the practical, results-oriented methodology for interacting with those laws. Think of Hermeticism as the foundational philosophical map, and Chaos Magic as the dynamic GPS system for navigating it. Here is the roadmap for what we will be covering in today's blueprint. Part 1. The Philosophical Bedrock. We will break down how to synthesize principles like the Hermetic Mentalism with the Chaos Magic concept of belief as a tool. Part 2. The Inner Work. We will explore consciousness as a fundamental force of reality and discuss how to cultivate the mind through inhibitory and ecstatic states of Gnosis. Part 3. The Physical Nexus. We will ground our practice in the physical body, integrating the daily routines of Ayurveda, the animistic roots of green magic, and the intuitive actions of folk magic. Part 4. The Blueprinting Process. Finally, we will walk through a strategic 7-stage framework to help you intentionally design, test, and iterate your own personal magical system. The journey is not about escaping the physical world, but about becoming a more conscious, intentional, and effective participant within it. So, ground your energy, open your mind, and let's delve into the blueprint. The initial phase is dedicated to establishing a unified philosophical foundation that reconciles the seemingly disparate worldviews of Hermeticism and Chaos Magic. By resolving their apparent contradictions, a coherent lens for all subsequent practice is forged. The journey begins with an understanding of Hermeticism, a philosophical and religious tradition that traces its roots to the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, a syncretic figure combining the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. This tradition posits a transcendent, divine reality known as the All, or the One, which is both the substance of the cosmos and the governing principle that orders it. The core principles of Hermetic philosophy, articulated in texts like the Kabbalion, are presented as universal laws that govern reality. The principle of mentalism, for example, is the foundational axiom that the all is mind, the universe is mental. This is not merely a passive belief, but a directive to recognize that reality is a mental projection, and therefore an individual's thoughts can be harnessed to shape their life and circumstances. Following this, the principle of correspondence, famously summarized as above, so below, reveals the mirrored harmony between the macrocosm, the universe, and the microcosm, the individual. It suggests that by understanding oneself, one can gain insight into the cosmos. The principles of vibration, polarity, and rhythm describe the dynamic nature of reality, where everything is in motion, and seemingly opposing forces are merely different degrees of the same thing, creating an inherent flow and compensation. The principle of cause and effect empowers the individual by positing that every cause has an effect, allowing them to take action and forge their own path rather than merely reacting to circumstances. Finally, the principle of gender asserts that all things possess masculine and feminine principles. The key to self-mastery lies in achieving balance between these energies. In stark contrast, chaos magic emerges as a postmodern approach that rejects adherence to a single, systemized convention. Its central philosophical pillar is the instrumental view that belief is a tool. This perspective, influenced by thinkers like Austin Osman Spare, argues that rigid belief structures lock up psychic energy, which can be liberated and directed toward new aims by deliberately deconditioning the mind from its ingrained fictions. The practice of magical paradigm shifting exemplifies this, where a practitioner may choose to inhabit a different worldview, such as paganism, monotheism, or even atheism, for a set period of time to achieve a specific magical result. The immediate analysis of these two systems reveals a fundamental tension. Hermeticism provides a seemingly fixed, hierarchical map of the cosmos, while chaos magic embraces a fluid, anti-dogmatic, and non-hierarchical approach. The practitioner may feel compelled to choose one over the other. However, a deeper consideration reveals a powerful, symbiotic relationship. Hermeticism provides the laws, the universal operating code of the cosmos. Its principles describe why things work on a metaphysical level. Chaos magic, conversely, provides the tools, the practical, result-oriented methodology for how to interact with those laws. A chaos magician does not deny the Hermetic principles of cause and effect or vibration. Instead, they use the concept of belief as a tool to deliberately create the inner condition, the cause, that will lead to a desired outer effect. For instance, to transmute a lower emotional vibration, as described in Hermeticism, a chaos magician might use a personal sigil or adopt a new belief system to facilitate that change. This unified view frames Hermeticism as the foundational philosophical map, and chaos magic as the dynamic GPS system for navigating it, resolving the central tension and creating a functional, cohesive blueprint for a personal path. The Kabbalion principle, mentalism, the all is mind, chaos magic equivalent or application, belief as a tool, using one's thoughts and beliefs to deliberately shape reality. The Kabbalion principle, correspondence, as above, so below, chaos magic equivalent or application, pop culture symbolism, the rationale that all symbol systems are equally valid and can be manipulated as they all map to the same underlying reality. The Kabbalion principle, vibration, everything is in motion, chaos magic equivalent or application, paradigm shifting, changing one's worldview to attune to a different energetic frequency or perspective. The Kabbalion principle, polarity, opposites are identical in nature, chaos magic equivalent or application, self-deconditioning, breaking down the mental fictions of the ego that create rigid dualities like what I am not. The Kabbalion principle, rhythm, all things rise and fall, chaos magic equivalent or application, iterative practice, the constant cycle of testing, adjusting, and refining one's personal magical system. The Kabbalion principle, cause and effect, nothing escapes the law. Chaos equivalent or application, results-oriented practice, focusing on what works in the real world to create a desired outcome. The Kabbalion principle, gender, masculine and feminine principles, chaos magic equivalent or application, synthesizing dualities, the constant work of reconciling opposing concepts and energies within the self for greater harmony. With the philosophical groundwork established, the blueprint shifts to the vital work of cultivating the mind as the primary instrument for direct engagement with the metaphysical. This section focuses on the concept of gnosis as the central mechanism for the practice. Consciousness is not merely a byproduct of the brain, but a fundamental primary force of reality itself. This perspective provides a unified theoretical framework for magical work across all traditions, from Hermetic alchemy to chaos magic. The Hermetic and Shamanic traditions, for example, are described as shaping and stabilizing specialized modes of consciousness to achieve their goals. This suggests that the practitioner is not seeking an absolute objective reality in the conventional sense. Instead, they are developing a state-specific science of their own being, where the effectiveness of a ritual is judged not by its adherence to an external dogma, but by its ability to reliably induce a desired state of consciousness and produce a result. This view elevates the empirical trial and error ethos of chaos magic to a rigorous intellectual pursuit and provides a powerful metaphor for the entire journey. The key to this process is gnosis, a term used in both Hermeticism and chaos magic to describe an altered state of consciousness in which the mind is focused on a single point, thought, or goal, with all other thoughts suppressed. This state is necessary to bypass the filter of the conscious mind and allow the magical working to flow unimpeded into the unconscious, from which it exerts its effects on reality. Two primary methods are employed to achieve this state. Inhibitory gnosis. This is a form of deep meditation reached through practices that quiet the mind. Methods include deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, fasting, and sensory deprivation. A foundational Hermetic method for building this capacity is the rigorous mental training outlined in Franz Bardon's work, which involves systematic exercises for developing absolute concentration on static objects, colors, and abstract concepts. The ability to hold one's attention unwavering is considered the bedrock of all magical ability. Ecstatic gnosis. This is a mindlessness reached through intense arousal and sensory overload. Techniques include chanting, drumming, dancing, or hyperventilation. This method is often more accessible for beginners and aligns with the experimental nature of chaos magic. A critical point of tension for the practitioner is the apparent contradiction between the Hermetic emphasis on disciplined willpower and the chaos magic need to surrender conscious control to the unconscious mind. The resolution of this paradox is a hallmark of an advanced practitioner. The purpose of Bardon's rigorous mental training is not to impose a rigid will, but to build the capacity to selectively suspend conscious control at the precise moment of a ritual. The practitioner learns when to exert focused will and when to surrender it. This fluid, conscious shift between discipline and letting go is necessary for a powerful practice. A prime example of this deliberate act of surrender is the cut-up technique, which was used to break down the barriers that surround consciousness and access deeper insights. Once a state of gnosis is achieved, it is applied to practical workings. A core chaos magic technique is sigil magic, which involves creating a symbol from a statement of intent. During the state of gnosis, the practitioner charges the sigil with energy and then must consciously forget the original intent, allowing the working to be absorbed by the subconscious mind without interference. A more advanced application is the creation of a servitor, a thought form created with a specific purpose, which is then charged and sent out to perform its duty. The spiritual journey is not an escape from the physical world, but a deeper engagement with it. The practitioner's body is their primary magical tool, a temple that must be maintained for effective practice. This section details how the principles of Ayurveda, green magic, and folk magic integrate to create a holistic, grounded, and intuitive practice. Ayurveda provides a comprehensive system for balancing the mind, body, and spirit. Its daily routine, or dinacharya, serves as a foundational blueprint for the physical and spiritual well-being. It is recommended to wake before sunrise, during a period known as Brahma Muhurta, which is considered an auspicious time for spiritual practices and mental clarity. The routine includes physical cleansing rituals such as tongue scraping to remove toxins, oil pulling, and full body massage, abhyanga, to release accumulated impurities and promote relaxation. These practices, along with daily exercise and meditation, ensure that the physical vessel is prepared for the rigors of magical work. Ayurveda daily rite, Brahma Muhurta, pre-dawn awakening, complementary occult correspondence, Hermetic prayer, a time of silence and solitude to commune with the divine and set the day's intention. Ayurvedic daily rite, Abhyanga, self-massage, complementary occult correspondence, sigil anointing. Infuse the warm oil with a sigil of intent for health, love, or prosperity, imbuing the body with magical purpose. Ayurvedic daily rite, tongue scraping, oil pulling, complementary occult correspondence, purification, a daily ritual of purification and cleansing to remove energetic stagnation, ama, and prepare the body for the day's work. Ayurvedic daily rite, meditation, pranayama, complementary occult correspondence, Gnosis induction, a daily practice to quiet the mind, inhibitory Gnosis, and strengthen the capacity for focused magical work later in the day. Ayurvedic daily rite, evening wind down, complementary occult correspondence, mugwort charm. Place a bag of mugwort under the pillow to enhance prophetic dreaming and receive guidance from the unconscious mind. Ayurvedic daily rite, gratitude reflection, complementary occult correspondence, theurgy. Express gratitude to the cosmos, ancestors, or divine forces for the day's blessings, strengthening one's connection to the unseen. Green magic and herbalism connect the practitioner to the natural world. This practice is rooted in the animistic belief that all things, plants, stones, animals, possess a unique energy or spirit. By working with these green allies, a person can channel their power for purposes such as healing, protection, and manifestation. An important aspect of this practice is reciprocity, which involves giving back to the earth, just as leaving an offering when foraging for plants. The intentional use of herbs for both their medicinal and metaphysical properties is a core component. Element, earth. Herb or plant, mugwort. Essential oil, cedarwood. Magical use, grounding, protection, stability, divination. Element, air. Herb or plant, rosemary. Essential oil, peppermint. Magical use, mental clarity, purification, communication, psychic abilities. Element, fire. Herb or plant, cinnamon. Essential oil, frankincense. Magical use, passion, creativity, prosperity, spiritual awakening. Element, water. Herb or plant, lavender. Essential oil, rose. Magical use, emotional balance, love, healing, peace, intuition. Aromatherapy, an extension of green magic, uses essential oils to directly influence the mind and emotions through the sense of smell, which has a direct pathway to the brain's emotional and memory centers. These oils can be used to create a sacred atmosphere via diffusion, anoint tools or candles for spell work, or be incorporated into meditation for deeper states of relaxation and receptivity. Finally, folk magic provides an intuitive and practical dimension to the path. It is the magic of the common folk, passed down orally and focused on practical matters like luck, healing, and protection. It encourages the integration of mini-magic into daily life through simple, everyday actions like throwing salt over a shoulder or making a wish on a fallen eyelash. This approach cultivates a constant intuitive connection to the metaphysical, reinforcing the idea that magic is not an elaborate performance, but a lived, fluid reality. The effective combination of these traditions creates a powerful spiritual ecology of the self. Ayurveda's focus on the internal ecosystem of the body is complemented by green magic's animistic view of nature, while aromatherapy's sensory inputs provide a direct bridge between the two. The research indicates that scent and sound can enhance each other's effects in meditation. This suggests a broader principle. The most effective magical rituals are synesthetic. By consciously combining physical and sensory inputs, visuals, sounds, smells, and sensations, the practitioner can create a powerful immersive environment that deepens the trance state and strengthens the intended magical working. This goes beyond simply listing the uses of herbs and oils. It instructs the practitioner on how to intentionally design a multi-sensory ritual environment to amplify their magical abilities. With a firm grasp of the philosophical and practical foundations, the practitioner can now engage in the process of designing their own unique spiritual path. This is framed as a strategic act of conscious creation, borrowing a framework from fantasy writing to give the journey a clear structure and a pragmatic, results-oriented focus. The process of building a personal magical system can be distilled into a 7-stage framework. This reframes the entire spiritual journey as an intentional act of design rather than a passive pursuit of information. Stage 1. Inspiration, the seed crystal. This is the foundational stage where the core why of the journey is identified. It involves pinpointing the central purpose, emotional drive, or desired outcome for the path. Stage 2. Idea generation. In this brainstorming phase, the practitioner records and expands on all potential ideas from all the traditions they have studied. This is a time for boundless creativity, using techniques like mind mapping to gather all possible magical effects, limitations, and concepts. Stage 3 and 4, alignment and definition. The raw ideas from the previous stage are now filtered and defined. The practitioner ensures that all chosen practices align with the core inspiration and then meticulously defines what the system is and how it does. This is where the chosen effects are hammered out and fit into a cohesive whole. Stage 5. Restrictions. The law of limitations. A critical and often overlooked step. This stage applies the principle that a system's limitations are more compelling and effective than its raw powers. By defining what the magic cannot do, what its costs are, and what the boundaries are, the practitioner creates a powerful and effective system rather than a vague and ineffective one. Stage 6 and 7, testing and iteration. These final stages emphasize the empirical trial-and-error ethos of chaos magic. The practitioner is encouraged to play with the system, stress-test it, and see what works in the real world. The path is not a fixed monument, but a continuous iterative cycle of practice, observation, and refinement. Stage 1. Inspiration. Process. Identify the core purpose or driving force. Key questions to ask. What is the central goal or emotion that motivates my path? Stage 2. Idea generation. Process. Brainstorm all possible practices, beliefs, and symbols. Key questions to ask. What traditions, deities, and techniques resonate with me? Stage 3. Alignment, and 4. Definition. Process. Filter and define the core concepts and effects. Key questions to ask. How do these ideas support my core inspiration? What does my system actually do? Stage 5. Restrictions. Process. Determine the costs and limitations of the system. Key questions to ask. What are the boundaries of my practice? What must I sacrifice or invest to make it work? Stage 6, testing, and 7, iteration. Process. Continuously practice, observe, and refine the system. Key questions to ask. Does this ritual reliably produce the desired result? What can be improved? The final phase of this blueprint addresses the long-term journey, providing guidance on how to navigate the psychological and spiritual complexities that arise from a deep, self-designed practice. A self-designed spiritual path is a profound act of psychological evolution. The work of deconditioning from old beliefs and reconciling apparent contradictions is an intentional form of adult development, which allows an individual to make sense of the inevitable ambiguity, contradiction, and paradox that life presents. The journey becomes a means of transcending a prior meaning system and constructing a more resilient, personal understanding of reality. As the practitioner engages with the unseen, a functionalist approach is recommended when working with spirits, deities, and archetypes. The Hermetic view of a divine hierarchy can be synthesized with the chaos magic approach of treating these entities as symbolic tools. Instead of asking, "Is this entity real?" the practitioner is empowered to ask, "What psychological or energetic function does engaging with this archetype serve in my practice?" This allows for the construction of a spiritual pantheon that is meaningful and effective without the need for dogmatic belief. While the path is deeply personal and solitary, it is not an isolated one. Community and spiritual direction are vital components of growth, providing support, guidance, and a sense of belonging. The personal grimoire, while unique to the individual, is a continuation of a shared legacy of knowledge and practice. In conclusion, the ultimate goal of this blueprint is to guide the individual toward a personal middle way which synthesizes the dualities of the human experience. It is a path that embraces both Hermetic structure and chaos magic's fluidity, exerts both conscious will and a surrender to the unconscious, and recognizes the interconnectedness of the microcosm and the macrocosm. The journey is not about escaping the physical world, but about becoming a more conscious, intentional, and effective participant within it. By consciously designing and continuously refining a spiritual blueprint, the individual becomes an active architect of their own evolution, turning the art of magic into a deeply personal, empirical, and transformative science. This meditation is a journey into the very engine of reality, your own mind. Together we will cultivate the absolute focus required to forge your true will and the profound trust needed to surrender it to the deep unconscious. Prepare to step out of the passive stream of everyday life and ready yourself to take your rightful place as the deliberate creator of your universe. Begin by finding a comfortable, grounded position, honoring the fact that your physical body is your primary magical tool and temple. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in, recognizing this act of deep breathing as a fundamental method to quiet the mind. Exhale slowly, releasing the tension in your muscles through progressive relaxation. You are entering a state of inhibitory gnosis, building the capacity to hold your attention unwavering, which is the bedrock of all magical ability. As your breath finds its natural rhythm, turn your awareness to the foundational axiom of the cosmos, the principle of mentalism. Silently repeat to yourself, The all is mind. The universe is mental. Recognize that reality is a mental projection and that your thoughts possess the power to shape your life and circumstances. Feel the mirrored harmony between the vast macrocosm of the universe and the microcosm of your own being. Embrace the principle of correspondence, as above, so below. By understanding the depths of yourself in this moment, you are gaining direct insight into the cosmos. Now call upon the central pillar of chaos magic, the understanding that belief is a tool. Bring a single point, thought, or goal to the forefront of your mind. Focus entirely on this statement of intent or personal sigil, suppressing all other stray thoughts. Allow this concentrated energy to build, utilizing your disciplined willpower to charge this intention with your focused awareness. You have exerted your focused will. Now you must perform the deliberate act of surrender. To bypass the filter of your conscious mind, you must now let go of the intention you just built. Selectively suspend your conscious control, a hallmark of an advanced practitioner. Consciously forget the original intent. Release it completely, allowing the working to flow unimpeded into your unconscious mind, where it will exert its effects on reality without interference. Rest in this quiet, empty space. You have harmonized the Hermetic emphasis on discipline with the chaos magic need to surrender. Walking a personal middle way, synthesizing the opposing concepts and dualities within yourself to achieve greater harmony. Begin to bring your awareness back to your physical vessel. Notice the sensation of the air in the room and the surface beneath you. Take one final deep breath, expressing gratitude to the cosmos or divine forces for this moment of connection. When you are ready, open your eyes, stepping forward as the conscious architect of your own evolution. Remember, Seekers, that the blueprint we've explored today, this synthesis of Hermetic law and chaos methodology, is not a static destination. It is at its heart a living practice. Like the principle of rhythm, your path is meant to rise and fall, to be tested, adjusted, and refined through your own direct experience. You are the architect, and your life is the ongoing work of art. As you move forward, I encourage you to treat your daily life as your primary laboratory. Whether you are performing a simple morning ritual, working with your green allies, or navigating the complexities of your own psyche, bring that same intentionality and focus into every action. Thank you for joining me in the Library of Divine Echoes today. If this blueprint resonated with you, I invite you to share your experiences. How are you adapting these tools to build your own unique system? Until next time, keep questioning, keep building, and stay conscious of the echoes you leave behind.